I didn't expect them to be using super high quality. Oh, just ate it. Welcome back to Freshly Charged, where today we might have the fastest value electric scooter that money can buy. Most electric scooters priced at underneath $600 can barely reach 20 miles per hour, where the Ausom L1 claims to be able to hit 28 mile per hour top speeds. We're gonna go ahead and test that out here shortly, but let's go ahead and start out with a quick walkthrough. Starting out with the cockpit, you have this stunning color display in the center, which also locks out by using an NFC card reader, and you can also use a passcode to open it up. On the right side, you have mechanical brake levers, trigger throttle, power button, and the plus and minus for the speed levels. You can also turn on the light by holding down the plus sign, but the bottom button, even though it has a walk symbol, doesn't do anything when you press down on it. Moving to the left, you have mechanical brake levers. Both brake levers do control electric braking, which is an anti-lock braking system. Turn signal indicator buttons with electric horn. Right below the display, there's a hook to lock the scooter in place when folded. It also doubles up as a bag holder. You can lower the handlebar heights and also increase it for different size of riders. The handlebar height from the deck at the lowest point is going to be about 36 inches, and at the highest point, it's going to be about 44 inches. Moving down the steering pool, you have the light that can be adjusted for the angle, and then to open up the scooter, it almost looks like a water faucet. You just go ahead and turn this over to the left, loosens that up, and then pull on this knob and it'll drop it in place. One thing to keep in mind is in order for this to lock into the rear kick plate, you have to have the handlebars at the correct height. So now we should be able to lock that in place and have it hook. The scooter is just slightly over 60 pounds, so not too bad to carry up and down stairs. To unfold it, just simply unlatch the hook, pop it up in place, and then close this little water faucet knob, and you're good to go. Right below the folding mechanism, you have swing arm C suspension with 10 by 2.75 inch tubeless pneumatic tire, 140 millimeter brake disc, and mechanical disc brakes. Charge port in the neck with snapback cover. Inside of the deck, we have a 48 volt, 15.6 amp hour battery, so just slightly underneath 750 watt hours. Tapered kick plate in the rear. Underneath the kick plate, you have another swing arm spring suspension with a rear tail light that also acts as a brake light and place to put a license plate if you need it in your area. Turn signals are built into the side. Very interesting design. We've never seen them located in this area. Another 10 by 2.75 inch tubeless pneumatic tire with 800 watt motor, 140 millimeter brake disc, and mechanical disc brakes. This scooter priced at only $599, even cheaper with the coupon code Freshly Charged. You can get it down for $549. It looks like a pretty sweet scooter, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this freshly charged, take it out for a spin, tell you what I love about it, what could be improved, and who should buy the Ausom L1 electric scooter. All right, so we've got the L1 freshly charged. We're gonna go ahead and ride around a little bit, test this thing out. I'm also starting to do a range test just because I do think I can wipe out this battery pretty quickly. While it's at a full battery, I'm gonna go ahead and try to do a speed run just to see what the top speed can be on the L1. It says 28 miles per hour, but as you've seen before in the past, stated top speed versus real top speed can be two separate things. One other thing you might notice is I'm in a completely different environment. I'm actually in southern Utah visiting my mom in St. George. It's beautiful, it's a desert, lots of red rocks, so enjoy the new landscape. This epic bike trail is just right outside my mom's house and it's pretty cool. I also have the Strava app running in the background just so I can see what type of range you can expect out of the Ausom L1 scooter. Stated range versus real range, they're never the truth because very few people ride at snail speeds and most riders weigh more than the test subject, which is typically about 150 pounds. The fact that the weather's nice should help improve the range. The views do not disappoint down here. All right, this might actually be a good spot. Okay, I'm gonna actually just go. I'm not gonna really try to give you acceleration numbers. So it says 19 on the display, 20, 28 on the display, 29, 29, 30 on the display. So it's hitting 31 on the display. Our max speed on here was 36 miles per hour. Huh, that does not sound right. I don't think that's true. I'm gonna actually go ahead and bust out my Dragy and track this a little bit more. And let's see if we can hit over 28 miles per hour, which is pretty good for a single motor scooter underneath $600, actually $550 with the coupon code Freshly Charged. This is definitely the fastest scooter we've ever tested for this low of a price. On three, 1, 2, 3, go! 5, 8, 10 miles per hour, 28 on the display, 29, 30. Can we get 31 again? 31 on the display, finally. Okay. Wow, it took a while. What does 31 on the display equate to? Let's find out. 31 miles per hour on the display does actually hit 30 miles per hour. So earlier I did hit 30 miles per hour. It took longer this time than it did my first run that I didn't have the Dragy. So I do wish I would have had that set correctly. But just to give you guys an idea, it took a long time to hit that 31 miles per hour. So 0 to 10 was 4.29 seconds. 0 to 20 was 10.66 seconds. But it took 66.6 0.71 seconds, so over a minute to hit that 30 mile per hour top speed. Can it hit the stated 28 mile per hour top speed? 100%. Very impressed that it actually does it. I did not believe it when I heard the price point. So it looks like I've already lost about 20% of the battery, and I've done about 4 miles, so pretty decent still. I'm gonna go ahead and keep riding, and then at my next stop tell you what I love about the Ausom L1 electric scooter. I'm hoping I can time this right so that I can make it home with this range test. Hopefully I don't have to call my mom and say, Mom, I ran out of battery. I'm a 40-year-old man, I need you to pick me up. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Yeah, cat's out of the bag. I just rolled over the hill. But yeah, thank you guys all for the birthday wishes. I saw that. Thank you so much. But man, look how epic this ride is. Definitely make sure you wear a helmet, because you never know when one of these rocks are coming loose and tumbling down this hill. I honestly have zero idea where I'm at or where I'm heading. I just left my mom's house, saw a trailhead, and started riding around. But I do know this is cruising at 28 miles per hour, no problems at all. So you're definitely, with your turns, it's more swaying. If you try to turn these handlebars, it gets all crazy on you. So just keep that in mind. Speaking about if the scooter's comfortable to ride, it's got the nice kick plate in the rear. The deck is a little bit skinny, but for being the price point, it's got one of the bigger decks out there. I am going to try to find a hill as well to show you guys the capability of the hill climbing. I would think it's not going to be that great. If you have a rolling start into something, you're probably fine, but overall there's not a lot of torque even in sport mode. As you can see from the speed runs, it's taking me really over 30 seconds to even come close to the top speed of 28 miles per hour. So going up a hill, it's definitely going to be a little bit sluggish. Let's see how well it does on a little bit of some off-roading. Okay, let's see if it could even make it up this thing. Oh, there we go. That did better than I thought it was going to do. If you want to test out that light off-roading, I think it's light off-roading approved. Heavy off-roading with steep hills, probably going to need a different scooter. This looks like a great place to stop and talk about what I love about the Ausom L1 electric scooter. Really, the number one thing I love about this is the price point. For $599, actually $549 if you use the coupon code Freshly Charged. You can't really beat this scooter. 28 mile per hour top speed, suspension, NFC card reader, color display. Man, there's a lot of things about this scooter that you don't normally see unless they're about $999 or higher. So kudos for Ausom for making an affordable scooter that actually has some cool features and a nice top speed. The overall design of the scooter is really nice that it can fit so many different height levels. So you can drop it all the way down for shorter riders, but if you have taller riders, you can increase the handlebar height. So it's awesome that the scooter can grow with your family, or you can have multiple people in the family riding the scooter. I do appreciate that you can adjust the angle of the light, and it's actually surprisingly bright. It comes with 4 LEDs inside of it rather than just one and a glass globe over it. So it does work a little bit better than most of the electric scooters in the price point. I mentioned this earlier when I was riding. It's nice that this just has a kick plate. Most budget-friendly commuter scooters just have a little plastic fender that you can't put your foot on, and no suspension, so very nice that you have suspension in the front and rear. For me, I prefer mechanical disc brakes over drum brakes. A lot of these budget-friendly scooters use drum brakes, which I'm not a huge fan of. Mechanical disc brakes just work better at my weight class, so I'm happy that it doesn't use a drum brake. It's nice to have these tires with hybrid off-road trails, so I've been able to ride on some loose gravel, some packed dirt. It has enough knobbies to gain traction on there, and it has a rounded profile, so when you're cruising on this bike path, it feels nice and stable. The locking mechanism for when you fold the scooter up and down, it's really nice because it has a nice thick piece of metal and also double redundancy, so in case for some reason this breaks or this bolt breaks inside of here, this safety latch should work on helping you keep this upright and not folding on you when riding. Great that it also has quick disconnects, so it's easier maintenance. You can just easily disconnect things for like the display, the brakes, the trigger throttle, if you ever need to repair anything on the scooter. These handlebar grips are actually really nice. They're locked into place so they don't rotate on you when riding, and they also have this nice little cutout to rest your palm on there. Speaking about portability, it's nice that I can lock the scooter into itself when folded. Really nice that you can use an NFC card reader to lock and unlock the scooter, or you can also type in a passcode. It is nice that this scooter does come with turn signals, but there is some downfalls to it, and I'll talk about that shortly. But then last but not least is I do like that there is some type of horn on here to warn pedestrians or cars that you're coming by. The Ausom L1 is a great scooter, has a lot of cool features, but it's not perfect. So at my next stop, I'm going to tell you what could be improved on the Ausom L1 electric scooter. Right now I'm hitting 40% battery and I'm starting to see the battery flash on me. So there is a decent amount of voltage sag. That's kind of what I expected from this scooter. I didn't expect them to be using super high quality. Oh, I almost just ate it. Holy cow. I'm glad I jumped off the scooter. That is the one thing you gotta watch out for. This was not a packed off-road trail. That's why you wear safety gears, boys and girls. You're gonna get a decent amount of voltage sag when you're not using high quality battery cells, and that's why I'm seeing it start to flash at 40% battery. Taking this turn, taking this turn. Oh, whoa, that thing almost slid out on me. So be careful on those turns. This scooter, it's good, but that tire polymer was a little bit harder than what I would like. I shouldn't have almost slid out right there. I almost went sideways, and I think I have like safety gear on with my shoulder pads because that would have hurt to land on my shoulder. This scooter is not made for aggressive riding, okay guys? It's a $550 scooter with our coupon code. That's what you're gonna get. Decent suspension, can go up 28 miles per hour, but not made for taking deep turns in the carves. But overall, it surpassed my expectations with just the way this scooter rides. So even at 40% battery, I'm still able to maintain a 25 mile per hour top speed, 26. So pretty good. It hasn't throttled me down. Some of these scooters, when you get below 50% battery, will only let you achieve like 60% of the top speed. Here's the hill climbing test. Let's see if I can make it up this hill, which is fairly steep. I'm cruising. It's going 10 miles per hour, but it's about to get even steeper right here. Let's see if I can make it up this hill. Oh, I don't know if you can even see that. That's where it stopped right here. I can make it up if I was to push it a little bit, but oh, and it's getting down to like 10% battery. That was pretty weak. So not the best hill climber. There's plenty of other scooters here, but let's stop by and talk about what could be improved on this electric scooter. Comparing this scooter to these scooters, I would prefer the Ausom L1. As you can see, this rear doesn't even have rear suspension. This only has front suspension. That has front and rear suspension. Adjustable handlebar height, which these ones are at a fixed height. The light on here is just one LED, where you can see this light actually has 4 LEDs. Let's talk about what could be improved on this scooter. One big thing is these turn signals are not that great. They're low mounted, kind of small, and only in the rear, and also not super bright. So just keep in mind that most people aren't going to know which direction you're turning because the turn signals don't work that great. I also wish the tire was just slightly wider. It's a little bit too narrow for heavier off-roading, and if they were able to widen the tire a little bit, it would help stabilize it at higher speeds and also not make it so clunky when trying to make those quick turns. I do wish that this came with hydraulic brakes, but at the price point, I don't expect them to put it on there. They would have had to increase the price. However, I do like that it has disc brakes over drum brakes. I would like for this front-facing light to be mounted a little bit higher. By mounting it a little bit higher, it allows the light to spread further, better for safe night riding. But as it sits, still pretty decent that it actually has 4 LEDs in it. The geometry of the scooter does feel a little bit awkward. So when you're just trying to turn the scooter, it feels super unstable. You have to really lean your weight into your turns. That's the only way to make the scooter feel safe at higher speeds. So you do have full suspension, but there's not a lot of travel on the suspensions. You're not going to get a super comfy ride. This is mainly designed to help reduce the chatter when going over bumps and slight imperfections. One thing to keep in mind is when you buy from Ausom, there's a reason why the scooters are such low price. It's a direct-to-consumer scooter. There's not a lot of local dealers to help service it, so there is going to be a little bit of delay for waiting for parts to get shipped to you. You do have to be a little bit handy to fix some things if issues do arise. If you're totally fine with tinkering on your scooter a little bit and can fix things, this is a great value buy. I can't think of another scooter underneath $600 that can at least reach 28 miles per hour. But if you do happen to know of a scooter that can reach 28 miles per hour underneath $600, leave a comment down below and share with the community. The other major issue I have is that the charge rate is only 1.5 amps. It's going to take you 10 hours to charge the scooter from empty to full. I do wish that they were able to give us like a 3 amp charger and cut it down to 5 hours. The bolts come with these rubber covers for them. You'll see them right here. This one's already missing. That's the problem with them. They come off real easily. If you ever put this in the back of a car, they just easily rip off, and then eventually they get stretched out to where they're barely hanging on and they almost all fall off. So I've only lost one so far, but I plan on losing all of them over time. The L1 is not a great hill climber. It's only a single motor scooter, doesn't have a ton of acceleration. If you live in an area with a lot of hilly terrain and steep terrain, you definitely want to check out one of their dual motor scooters, which will perform a lot better on steep hills. But that's pretty much all that I think could be fixed on the Ausom L1 electric scooter. It's pretty decent for the price point. I'm going to go ahead and continue ride, finish out my range test, and then tell you who should buy the Ausom L1 electric scooter. So this is what I was talking about. So if I'm leaning and turning, perfectly fine, but if I tried to turn, whoa, look at that front. Yeah, you definitely don't want to turn on it. Most scooters, when you do that type of like quick thing, you'll still see that type of movement, but not quite as bad as the Ausom L1. Man, it is really pretty down here in southern Utah. If you live in this area, what's your favorite place to ride? Leave a comment down below. All right, I'd say we're coming towards the end of the range test here. Right now we're sitting at 17 miles of range. We're at 20% battery, but hey, I'm still able to hit 25 miles per hour. Yep, it's done. What perfect timing. I'm right in front of my mom's house. All right, so let's go ahead and get some numbers out here so you can see exactly what's going on. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this Strava ride out here. So I have it saved underneath two different things just because one of them I was trying to hit the top speed. In total, we had 16.37 on the second part of the test, and then the first one was 2.35 miles. So in total, I just got underneath 19 miles of range, 18.72 miles of range, and it said the elevation gain was 443 feet, so some decent elevation climbing. I did it in about an hour and 10 minutes. Average speed was 16.9 miles per hour, so fairly decent. I thought I was going to get a lot less for the price point. You're able to hit 28 mile per hour top speeds, almost 19 miles of range at an average of 17 miles per hour. So who is the Ausom L1 for? Really, it's for anybody who's looking for an affordable high-speed scooter with decent range, as long as you don't live in a hilly area. Thanks for tuning in. Check out our full written review at freshlycharged.com, and make sure that when you ride, wear your safety gear.